Hello and welcome to PayEntry's presentation of the automatic code selection process. This is part 3 of a 3-part series. In this video we will cover the employee setup. To review, in the previous video we enabled the automatic code selection process for the company, plus we set up their insurance plan. Now we're going to focus on the information needed for the employees. But before we do, we want to let you know that some of the components that we discuss in this video are an interpretation of the Affordable Care Act. You should confirm this information and how it affects your organization with your legal advisor or ACA expert. To understand how the auto code selection process works at an employee level, we're going to study just an individual employee at a time. For example, this employee, Matthew Crawley, has been active since 2001. He has an ACA status of full-time. His dates are January 1st of 2015 through the forever date. In the previous video, we already set up the insurance plan of Blue Cross Blue Shield for the company. If the employee elected to enroll in the insurance plan that was offered, add the insurance plan to the employee's record on his Insurance tab. This will enable the system to select the correct code for line 16 of his 1095-C form. Let's go into Matthew's Insurance tab and add the Blue Cross Blue Shield. The plan was effective as of January 1st of the year and will end on 12/31 of the current year, and click Add. You can let the system default to the plan which says Employee Determine Coverage Based on Dependents because you're not tracking this insurance plan for insurance information. This is only being entered for Affordable Care Act information. So click Save Changes. And now we just need to set up Matthew's coverage record. So from the ACA tab, select ACA coverage for Matthew. This will open up the coverage screen. I'm going to enter the start date of January 1st of the current reporting year, 2015, and click Save, then Details. For the details, for the offer of coverage, which is line 14 of the 1095-C form, I'm going to set this as automatic, allow the system to assign a code. And for each one of these, I am going to let the system assign the code automatically. Now keep in mind, you can use the automatic code selection for just one of the fields, all of the fields, or just pick and choose the one that you want. Once you have all of your choices selected, click Save Changes. And now to see a preview of the 1095-C form, select the year, and it will fill in all of the codes automatically. Please keep in mind that you should audit this information carefully to ensure that this is the information you want to report. Now this was an example of how to enter the coverage information for one employee. But what if you want to do the entire employee population? In that case, let's go back to the main menu and go to Company Setup. From the Company Setup screen, we're going to pick the EE or Employee Bulk Update. From the Bulk Update tab, choose EE ACA Coverage Bulk Update. Now in this bulk update utility, you have the capability of updating all of the coverage codes for all of the employees in the database. Or you can sort through the employees and pick, for example, just the part-time employees, or any other sorting using the filtering methods. I am going to select all employees to be updated, and I'm going to check this box to automatically select all of the employees. And one of the most important things is to make sure that you enter the correct effective date. I'm going to enter January 1st of 2015 and now select Update. This will open up the update screen. The start date will default to the date that you entered on the previous screen. And as a default, you will see that each field has defaulted to the automatic choice. Again, as I mentioned earlier, you can select to only automate one field or all of the fields, or pick and choose the ones you want. For example, if you wanted to override the employee share and just enter that manually, you also have the option to not change any employees that you've already updated simply by selecting those boxes. And in addition, it will enter the appropriate information for lapses in employment for employees that have been terminated or hired during the reporting year. And now click OK. Once you hit OK, it will process it and let you know how many records have been updated. Now, the number of records is not necessarily the number of employees, because employees that have been hired or terminated mid-year will have multiple records. And click OK. And now you can see that the employees have been defaulted to automatic for some of the fields, and for the employee share, I chose to override it so it will indicate that that was a manual entry. And now if I return back to look at my employees, I can pull up Monica and take a look at her coverage record, and we can see that it's automatically been set up with the appropriate dates. Since she had a record already with her start date, you can see that that information has been ended on the last day of 2014, and the new date of 2015 has been added with the appropriate codes. We can click on Details and choose the year, and you can see this is Monica's 1095C information. This concludes Pay Entry's Affordable Care Act Automatic Code Selection. This was Part 3, the Employee Setup.